is Whiskey 3 Lima India Alpha.
Whiskey 3 India Lima Alpha, this is KC9VKV.
Okay, fine.
India Lima Alpha, KC9VKV.
Back on the air, finally running just 100 watts here to an 884 tuner and a long wire 53 feet. So, you have very good audio. Your KW sounds great. This is W3LIA.
Roger, come back with your call sign slowly, phonetically, please.
Okay, yes, it's Whiskey 3 Lima India Alpha. W3 living in America.
Roger, and what's the name, please? Lima India Alpha, what's the name, please?
The name is Bob, Baker, Ocean Baker.
Roger, Roger. Bob, and whereabouts you be, sir?
We're located near Phoenixville, Pennsylvania, in the western suburbs of Philadelphia. And very nice little community, and unfortunate and sneaky long wire out here.
Roger. Now, I thought that Milford, PA would have been a natural for your signal, but I didn't copy anything. So I am copying you about 5 dB above my noise level on my local antenna. Roger.
Okay, Roger, Roger. Thank you for picking me up. I appreciate it. It's the first contact I've made in over a year. This is W3LIA.
Roger. Now, has that been because of bad conditions or just not trying?
Okay. The other station, please.
I was just saying, it was that since I'm your first in about a year, I was just wondering if that was because of bad conditions or that you just hadn't been trying, Roger.
The problem was that my antenna came down out of the tree, and I extend out to one of the trees here with a stealth antenna, very, 24 gauge piece of wire. And that's the only kind of antenna we could use in our community here. Yourself?
Yes, I'm familiar with the 34 gauge super unseen wire. That's a HOA wire, Roger.
It's QSL. It is an HOA wire.
Well, you know what? That 34 gauge, the narrower the wire, the less the Q, and or the higher the Q, and the lesser the bandwidth. So with 34 gauge wire, you go 10 kc one side or the other, you probably have to retune.
I've got an AH4 tuner behind this. I'm an Icon 706 with the tuner, and it is a long wire tuner, and it does a good job. So yes, indeed, I do have to retune quite often.
Roger, Roger. And I'm not sure exactly at what power level a 34 gauge wire would disintegrate. I do know that 1100 watts I can do in RG6 as far as a transmission line if you hang on it too long. I was doing a tune-up and using RG6 as the transmission line on a kilowatt amp, and I stayed too long at the farm, and I did manage to turn that RG6 into spaghetti. Roger?
Roger, Roger. Yeah, this is 24 gauge, not 34 gauge, so it's a little bit heavier than 34. But anyhow, there was another station in there trying to break into or to come into this conversation with us. Do you want to stand by and see if he's still there?
Sure, station, go ahead.
Go ahead. He gave up because you were drowning him right out. But I heard him mention my call sign. Anyhow, what's the handle out there?
Roger, the name here is Jim. I did not hear him at all. He was just absolutely nowhere. I am on my my local antenna. I have 3 SDRs, internet SDRs that I monitor in addition to my antenna. And but I was just on my antenna. I did not hear him, so I apologize for that. The name here is Jim, Juliet, India, Mike, and we're located near Louisville, Kentucky. Roger.
Okay, Roger. A lovely part of the country. So, yeah, Jim, thanks so much for coming back. I appreciate it. And hope we tune around here on 7189 from time to time and see if we can get you again there. For that, for now, thank you. 73, this is W3LIA.
Roger, Roger, Bob 3's that way. We do run the Qso-Vlog network between 3:30 and 5 each Friday afternoon on this frequency. So if you get a chance next Friday, drop by and say hello. We'd appreciate it, sir. Have yourself a good afternoon and a good weekend. And with that, we have successfully turned ourselves into a pumpkin, so we got to get out of here. We say threes to all. Enjoyed it, and we'll see you next Friday at 3:30 Eastern Daylight Time. I'm sorry. Oh gosh, what is that? We're I forget. Not Eastern Daylight Time. What is the other time reference?
Daylight saving time.
Daylight savings time, of course, and I wrote that down somewhere, but I have no idea by the end of the show where anything is. I got to get out of here. Three's all. Enjoyed it, and we'll see you next Friday afternoon at 3:30. This is KC9VKV. It will be clear.